70 miles northwest of Anchorage is where we'll find Lee Raymond's build site.
The cabin we're building is out by Mount McKinley. It's on a little lake called Quiet Lake off of Lake Creek. A total wilderness area, 30 miles off the road.
Lee's building an artistic 2-story, 700-square-foot octagon-shaped cabin.
We've been designing this cabin for 3 years.
Over 50% of America's wilderness is found in Alaska. And for Lee, building here is an outdoorsman's dream come true. But getting the material here is a logistical nightmare.
We're estimating freighting in somewhere between 35 and 40,000 pounds worth of materials. The tricky thing here is, though, there comes a point when the rivers start breaking up, and then that's it.
In fact, another crew hauling heavy equipment over weak ice had a bulldozer break through, killing a man.
The conditions can always bite you in the butt. You don't get a second chance in Alaska.
Lee's throwing everything he's got into his build at Quiet Lake. His future depends on the project's success.
Hi, Jack! Come on, help me load this stuff up.
Lee needs help getting stuff freighted in. You know, spring's gonna be coming here pretty quick. So the more help he gets to haul his stuff in, the faster it goes.
Jack, your coffee. It's frozen already.
The drive is 142 miles. From there, they'll snowmobile the materials in on sleds, 30 miles off-road to Quiet Lake. But first, they need to negotiate this treacherous drive.
The road has very soft edges, and if you get too close to the edge, you're gone.
They're in a race against time, transporting their materials over land before spring when the route will thaw and become impassable.
These sleds that I have are made out of a heavy-duty rubber. I have hauled in on these sleds as much as 3,400 pounds at a time. I can haul more behind my snow machine than I can put in an airplane. The airplane's only going to haul 820 pounds. That gets very expensive.
It's a race against time to get their tons of building supplies in by sled before the snow and ice melt. Quiet Lake is accessible by float plane in the summer, but the planes don't hold much cargo. And at $600 a flight, the costs would break Lee's nest egg.
I am planning on building something that someday is going to be worth a lot of money. And I'm 60 years old. I don't have a lot of these some days to work on this thing. I have got to get it done now. We have the best weather right now. The sun is out. We're getting our vitamin D. Woo! Let's see what we can do.
Lee figures it will take about 40 round trips to get everything to his site. But fresh, deep snow is slowing him down.
I do anticipate it to be a tough day, and a trip that usually takes me an hour and a half is probably going to take us 3 to 4 hours one way. Right now, guys, I'm sitting on about 4 foot of snow. This is my basement here. This is where I'll store things to keep the bears out of them. Then I'll have the floor on top. The floor on top actually cantilevers off both sides 2 feet because it's a 20-foot building on top of a 16-foot basement.
Like our other extreme builders, Lee is excited to break ground on his new cabin. All that's here so far are some shelters to house his supplies and a small cabin where his team can escape the frigid conditions.
Okay.
And Jim's not the only one harvesting his lumber.
Kind of nice to have a whole forest in your backyard where I can go out and pick and choose my timber. Timber! Boom! Yeah! I'm choosing these trees because they are dead and they're seasoned, and therefore they've already shrunk. Because that's one of the problems with live wood is you have to let it season or dry or kiln dry them. Yeah, pulling this big thing out of here is going to be fun. Are you guys ready?
With this 40-foot tree tied down, it takes 2 snow machines to drag him out of the forest. They tie down a second load, but the task has its dangers.
Oh, that hurt. Knees are not supposed to bend that much. Oh.
A hole covered by snow traps Lee's leg, which could spell disaster. Out here, there's no cell phone service, and the nearest hospital is hours away. Lee escaped serious injury this time, but last year he was nearly killed when his snowmobile rolled on top of him, forcing him to spend the night in frigid conditions before he got to the emergency room.
The guys at the emergency room, boy, did they lecture me because I could have broke a rib and punctured a lung. Let's do it. No! Let's see if we can make it back to camp.
How's your load doing?
My load's shifting back on me again a little bit.
Just hit the brakes, it'll slide forward.
No, it just slides underneath my tracks.
Hey, that's called redneck moving.
Oh yeah, redneck movement. I like that,
Redneck
Earl.
adjustment.
The good thing is it's all downhill into the swamp. It's coming up the other side. It's going to be a you know what. All right, guys, are we ready to rock and roll?
If I can get her started.
Let's go.
And sure enough, on the other side of the swamp, Jack gets stuck on an incline.
I kind of made a rookie mistake. I didn't get enough steam going up the hill. There were some bumps in there, and I didn't want to abuse the skis and break them, so I went a little bit slower than I probably should have. Didn't have enough momentum to carry me through the hill and made it 80% of the way up and got stuck.
I'm trying to get the snow out of here for my winch. I'm going to put the winch in, and we're getting a strap hooked up to that tree so it doesn't drag me.
Start your machine and drive forward. Holy hell!
The strap holding Lee's snowmobile snapped as he tightened his winch and pulled on Jack's snow machine and heavy load.
The strap was just way too weak. These straps are probably only rated for about 1,500 pounds, and his load and that machine's probably at least 2,500.
Shut up, you yam!
It's almost 30 below, and tempers are flaring.
Just winch the damn thing and drive backwards, and he'll drive forward, and we'll be done.
All right, let's do it. Try it, but I'm gonna slide. All right. Don't run over me, Jack. I gotta back up or you're gonna run over me. Because you need to get up enough speed to get over that hill. All right, you ready? Hang on. Hey!
This is a damn paradise.
At this point, with the temperature hitting 30 below, the cameras died. Fortunately, our intrepid builders didn't suffer the same fate.
All right, let's see. We're starting this stuff, and then we're gonna put some noodles in there. Hey, Earl, thanks again for all your help and staying with me all the way in today, okay? Because this was a tough trip. I'm glad you came.